It has certainly been a wonderful place to come. These people treat you like family. And even as I sit and visit with other families, it's almost like we are a giant family, the people who come here, and you hear other people's stories.
Yeah.
Today, we are back at Midwest Hyperbarics. We're going to be talking all things wound care and hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Many people don't even know that hyperbaric oxygen therapy exists, and we are here looking at this amazing brand new machine, the big blue thing behind me. We'll be talking more about that. My name is Melissa Goodwin. I am one of the hosts, and I'm here with Steve Schmidt, and one of our co-hosts. And we're going to be talking with Jada and Jessica. Jada and Jessica, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and what brought you to Midwest Hyperbarics?
Yeah, so I'm Jada, nurse practitioner here at Midwest Hyperbarics. Came together with my family to open Midwest Hyperbarics, and I had recently graduated from nurse practitioner school, and I went back to school initially with the hopes to go into more holistic or alternative care. And I can recall back to when we were doing our wound care lecture in school, and we had a wound care provider come in to guest lecture for us. And we're scrolling through looking at these wounds and different things that you can do for wound care. And then we got to hyperbaric oxygen therapy, and there was one slide. And then they said, you can do hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Move on, next slide, new topic. Like, whoa, wait a second. Like, let's roll back a minute. Like, there's something really fascinating about that. My mom and Dan had gotten a chamber for their home, and just being able to get into that chamber and experience what it was like firsthand was really incredible. The amount of just cognitive refreshment and going through school, being a working mom and wife, and you get run down pretty quick, and then you get in that chamber and it recharges you back up right away. And so it's fascinating talking about wound care and then how quickly we just glazed over this great treatment modality.
So you come from it from an experience, and you felt it yourself. Now, Jessica, you come from a wound care background specifically. You spent a lot of years. So tell us a little bit about your background and experience in wound care and what brought you to Midwest Hyperbarics.
I was a nurse for about 9 years and then graduated with my nurse practitioner degree. And I knew I wanted to go a more holistic route as well with my career. I found wound care, just kind of happenstance. This was back in 2018, and I fell in love with it. There's something about watching somebody who's kind of literally on their last leg, no pun intended, and trying to help them, heal in multiple capacities. And being with them along that journey.
Why is wound care such a gnarly problem? Why are wounds so hard to heal? And tell me a little bit about what people struggle with. What are some of the most common things people struggle with?
The main one that we see in wound care is diabetes. It's the main comorbidity that we see with somebody sitting in our chair. There's issues with neuropathy with those patients where they can't feel their foot. And so maybe they had a soybean in their boot and they're walking on that foot all day, and they take off their boot and they've got a giant hole. And so the neuropathy compounds that. And then, if their blood sugars are out of whack, if they're not in a good range, then it makes it even harder to heal. But really the inflammatory process that your body goes through and that cascade, it just kind of gets stuck there. And so whether it's an arterial wound, whether it's a surgical wound, whether it's an infected wound, we want to try to get you out of that inflammatory process and move you on to the next stages of healing.
Jessica, there was a place, you worked in the healthcare systems. There is a chamber in Mitchell, right? But it is very much, very specific uses, usually booked out, and really only for those people insured for specific conditions, right?
Yep. There's different wound care companies within our state and in our region that do dive people for certain indications, and those are all FDA approved indications. Yep. The beauty of Midwest Hyperbarics is we have the option of diving people for non-FDA approved indications, which doesn't mean it's not research backed. It just means the FDA hasn't quite, we haven't met that standard yet. But yeah,
even some of those wound care patients that insurance requires you to get to a certain degree of your wound to a non-healing stage before insurance will really kick in and cover your hyperbarics for that particular wound. Yeah. However, if you can intervene and get into a hyperbaric chamber well before that, you're hitting that, that last ditch effort of, we're looking at limb salvage at this point and trying to keep that foot or whatever wound it is there. If we can get you in the chamber before then, being a private practice in a smaller clinic, we have
Yeah.
that opportunity to get those patients in before they're meeting insurance criteria.
That's powerful.
So what is there a point where it's too late, where if my wound is so bad that it doesn't work anymore? Like, or do I need to come, like, how do I know when to reach out to you or when I should think about hyperbarics for my wound?
Yeah, I would say the sooner the better. I mean, by the time you think that it's too late and they're talking amputation, if you haven't done hyperbarics, you haven't done everything that you could have done.
So how long will it be till I start to see or feel a difference? If I come in and I have a foot wound or another kind of wound and I come in and I dive, how will I notice something right away? Does it take a number of sessions? What would I expect?
Yeah, it'll really vary from patient to patient on the type of wound that they have. When it comes to hyperbarics, you're really talking about three things. I mean, we're putting more oxygen into circulation. We're creating stress on the system by what's called increasing our reactive oxygen species or increasing your free radicals, which a lot of people think are a bad thing, but they're really not. It's much like doing a workout or doing a high heat sauna. You're putting stress on the system so that you'll hopefully rebound to a more optimal level. And then you're adding pressure. So with that, you have you're adding that stress on the system that you're adding, you add that immediate stress. And there's some benefits with that. I mean, you're kind of recharging up your body on a cellular level. So most people have an increase in their energy levels after their first couple of sessions. But a lot of it is your cumulative effects, that cumulative stress that you're adding to the system to rebound back. That really kind of is what's building upon each other, that, you know, the more you go up and down in pressure in the high to the low oxygen saturations, gets your body to heal a little bit more. So what it's doing essentially is it's shifting your gene expressions, called your epigenetics. And so when we're doing that, we're changing your DNA on a molecular level and looking at that, kind of getting your book, your body's like a book. I mean, every gene has it's open to its chapter instruction. And sometimes we flip forward a few pages or flip forward back a few pages, and we're just not doing what we need to do. And so hyperbarics kind of helps reset it back to where that it needs to go, so that our body can build that scaffolding inside of it, so that wound care can, these other systems that wound care can do, kind of build that scaffolding back up so that your body can heal.
And I am here with Bill Hinks, who's kind enough to let us interview him about his own experience here at Midwest Hyperbaric. And then we have Jada Heeb as well. So Jada, thank you so much. DNP here with the clinic here at Midwest Hyperbaric. Bill, just tell us, why do you come here? You come here often.
I've found in the time I've been here, I'm feeling better, and I have just good feelings when I wake up in the morning. Now my wife has taken over 30 trips in this machine, and she just wails on how great they are for her.
Yeah.
And so she's kind of dragged me in here, but once I did, follow up what she said, I found the better feeling. I found better in the morning, and it just seems to be something that helps you talk, and I think you feel better with it, and I'm going to continue and keep going until I get the big pile that they call about, and say that you take this many, you're going to find they really make a difference in your life.
Yeah. And this will be interesting, I think, for Jada to hear too, because I'm sure you've heard it before, but maybe not on a podcast format. What was when you first noticed good? What was the good feeling? Was it waking up feeling more refreshed? Was it a little brain fog gone? Was it signs of maybe some aging where you're like, I feel younger, I feel better, I feel like a weight is lifted? What did that feel like?
I think it's a little bit of everything, and so many things. I know the biggest I felt, I think, was waking up in the morning. I'd wake up in the morning, Carolyn would have my coffee, and we'd sit down and have a cup of coffee, and I just felt, and I know she felt better because her skin tones had really changed.
Oh yeah,
completely. Her skin is much nicer looking now than it was, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Yeah,
and she's been in here and she just keeps working and working and working at it, and she really says it's a whole new world. for her. So I'm heading in that direction now. I don't know if I can make my skin feel better or anything like that.
Your skin looks great.
But well, thank you. I appreciate that.
When Bill first came in, he used, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this, Bill, but when he comes in, he uses his cane just religiously. And over the last couple of weeks, there's often times that he leaves his cane at his locker and he's walking back to the bathroom. And just that movement in your gait and feeling more confident and steady on your feet. And just, Bill's a great guy. So, I mean, I can't say that he's ever not looked me in the eye when he's talking to me. I mean, he's been family since the day that he walked in the door.
Yeah.
And it's just to be able to see him move and see him just get better in his life, with his pain control and just his mental sharpness, just continue on so that he can continue doing the good work that he's doing with his business.
So I'm sitting here with Dave today and some of the staff here at Midwest Hyperbarics. Dave, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience?
I'm David Amdahl. I'm a retired licensed engineer and a former auctioneer. And I have a lot of respect for what goes on here at Hyperbaric. It's been a life-changing thing. They wanted to amputate my foot and part of my leg. And thank goodness for Midwest Hyperbaric. I was able to get in here and meet Jada and some of the medical staff and save my foot, save my leg, and introduced me to Dakota Vascular with a good doctor there. And so I'm on the road to recovery. I just had surgery for the last time on the foot. It's coming along. And my granddaughter said that it looks like a taco. So anyway, we're happy that I had my wife and my good Lord heal me. And she did a lot of research on hyperbaric, and we found out Midwest Hyperbaric was here and came in here, and I still have a foot. So we're healing.
One could say Dave is one of our OG patients.
Yeah.
And arguably our greatest success story thus far.
That's got to feel good to hear versus
Well,
not the
I'll tell ya,
success story.
Jada's been just great. She's the reason I have a foot too. So her medical knowledge has helped out, and we got a great medical staff here too. So I have nothing but good to say about it. I got a lot of people to thank for. It's been a teamwork, total teamwork to get this where it is today.
Yeah.
And I thank everybody that's involved.
It's been a long process, but every day Dave has a foot is a good day for Dave. And it has certainly been a wonderful place to come. These people treat you like family. And even as I sit and visit with other families, it's almost like we are a giant family, the people who come here, and you hear other people's stories.
Yeah.
You know, when you're taking care of someone who's been chronically ill, it's quite a weight for the family.
Yep.
And it's such a relief to come in here, and I know I can leave Dave here and say, I got to go do something. And I know he's in good hands. I know they're going to watch out for every aspect of his health care and just treat him like a human being and really watch out for him. That's such a relief for a family member.
So one thing I guess I've noticed that from the stories that we hear from patients to even your backgrounds and what brought you here, it feels like this place brings a sense of hope for many people that maybe have lost a little bit of hope and they feel like there isn't anything left that they can do to heal. Hyperbaric oxygen treatment is available here in Sioux Falls in the region, and you guys have an incredible facility with all kinds of different chamber options. So anything that you'd like to add to that as you think about the hope that you offer people or your patients?
I think sometimes by the time we see these patients for wound care, they're coming in and they don't have much hope. And that's something that, you know, we'll carry that hope and that promise for you until we can get you over that hump and make you feel better.
Dave, you were an auctioneer in closing here. How long has it been since you've actually done that work?
Oh, it's been a couple of years now, or a year, for sure, a year.
Okay.
But
I just didn't know if you wanted to do it for the camera here because I always loved as a kid watching
I heard it's like
the
riding a
farm
bike.
sales and watching the guy run the farm sale. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I like benefit auctioneers, and it's always fun because people want to bid, they want to give up their money.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fun. I'd like to get back into it again. Whether I can get back into a cowboy boot, I don't know, but we'll find out.
God willing.
We got an opportunity here if you want to close this out.
Yeah. Do you want to close us out here with? You want to call out? Let's say we're bidding on the what's the item we're bidding on here? There it is.
How about how many dollars on it? What are you gonna give? How about five? What do you get? Five here now. 10. Sold. $10.
There we go.